What's going on, everybody out there? This is Popular Stranger, and we are back at you again today with another Madden 24 Ultimate Team video. In today's video, we're going to be going over the best free 99 overall fan appreciation champions to add to your MUT 24 squad. Now, before we go over these cards, let's talk about how you can earn a free 99 overall. It's pretty straightforward. You get these fan appreciation tokens, the silver colored tokens. You can find them in a couple different areas. There's a welcome pack, actually 2 welcome packs that would have contained 1 each. There's 2 in solo challenges, and then between the field pass and the field pass objectives, you got another like 18 or 19 of them. So you're going to need 15 in total to redeem them for a free 99 overall ultimate legend of your choice. And if you go through the field pass rewards, you're going to see them a bunch of times: level 2, 4, 6, 10, and I think just today they may have updated this that you get 2 tokens at level 10. I'm pretty sure this was not like this earlier today. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it wasn't. So you get a bunch of tokens from here, from the solo challenges, from the welcome pack, and if you go to your free agent objective, fan appreciation objective tab, it's been a long day, don't judge me, and go down to the daily section. Every day we get a new objective. They're fairly easy to complete, and every time you complete one of them, you're going to get a fan appreciation token. Those again are the silver tokens. Don't get those confused with the loyalty token. So the loyalty token is going to take any one of your welcome pack players. You got Joe Thomas, you got Ryan Clark, you got Plaxico Burress. The silver tokens, you need 3 of them to take that player from a 94 to a 98 overall, and then this loyalty token takes them from a 98 to a 99. So factoring in the entire welcome pack scenario, you can actually upgrade 2 of those 3 welcome pack players up to a 99 overall, plus still have at least 15 tokens left to be able to redeem for a free 99 overall champion of your choice. So again, with the daily objectives, every time that you knock out an objective, you get a silver token, and eventually next week when you complete 14 daily objectives, you're going to get a second loyalty token, which allows you to upgrade one of those 3 welcome pack players. So again, you can upgrade 2 of those 3 players and still have at least 15 tokens available. And if you don't care about the welcome pack players at all, you can go ahead and use 15 tokens right now and redeem them for a champion today. And I think even if you upgrade one of the welcome pack players, which I've done on this account, it's still possible to go out there and earn the 15 tokens today without needing to wait for additional daily objectives in the next week or so. So here is the set. It's pretty straightforward. You trade in the 15 tokens. In return, you're going to get a fantasy pack that allows you to pick 1 99 overall champion. It will be a B&D. Now, at the end of the field pass and for 8 tokens, you have this fan appreciation B&D legendary variety pack. If you read the description of what's in this pack, you have a chance at a 99 overall champion, but it's not guaranteed, and you don't get to pick the one that you want. If you do happen to pull one out of the pack that comes at the end of the field pass, in this video, not only are we going to go over the best 99 overalls, I'm going to tell you every single ability you should be using on them because they get a ton of discounted abilities. Me personally, I would not redeem any tokens into this set, but if you're going to ignore that advice and you happen to get a 99 out of this one as well, and it ends up being a card that you're not sure what to do with it, it is going to be BND, so you're probably going to want to throw it on the roster. Again, if we mentioned that specific player in this video, I got you covered as far as what you need to do with the abilities. All of these cards, all of the 99 overall champions get charged up X factors if you take a look at them within the catalog, so we're going to cover that. And then if you go through each and every bucket, the archetype and of course the position are going to dictate exactly what they can get unlocked ability wise, but you can see there's a 0 AP ability in all 7 of the ability buckets. So we got you covered on all of the best players and all of the best ability setups on each of them. So let's go through it. We're going to start with Warren Moon. Now, I want to advise against using this card as your free pick because he's only about 260,000 coins. I actually went out and bought this card on my no money spent account. He's going to be my new quarterback. He will save you a ton of XP. There's 2 knocks that I have on this card. Number 1, he doesn't have the traditional 4 release, which is the best release in the game. He has Slinger 5, which isn't terrible. Good news is you can get Gunslinger on this card very easily. Number 2, he doesn't get the Truz X Factor, which allows you to freely run with your quarterback and often not have to worry about fumbling the ball. So in that situation, as far as his charge up X Factor, if you do want to use one of the 3 X Factor slots on this card, I would either go with High Low Deadeye, which is really good for accuracy. You're not going to get a lot of bad throws with that ability when it's activated, or with that X Factor when it's activated. Or if you want to, you can go with Omaha. I've said it often enough here. Omaha to me is a big distraction. It would also cost you 1 AP. If Omaha helps you out, if you like using it, go ahead and use that as a charge up X Factor. If not, go with High-Low Deadeye, which also will not cost you any ability points. So for Warren Moon, Tier 1, I would go Persistent. That's going to keep him in the zone a little bit longer than normal. Tier 2, I would go Red Zone Deadeye. Tier 3, I would go Inside Deadeye. Tier 4, I would go Master Tactician, which is going to cost you 1 AP, but keep in mind that ability gives you Hot Route Master. It gives you Conductor, which allows you to get those hot routes in a lot faster, and also Playmaker, which allows you to maneuver or change the direction of a certain route on the closest receiver to the quarterback. So all of that in Master Tactician for 1 AP is definitely worth it. Tier 5 bucket, I would go with Gunslinger. Tier 6, I would go with Gift Wrap. And Tier 7, I would go with Set Feet Lead. That's the ideal ability bucket setup for you. And if you don't go with Omaha, all of that costs 1 AP. So this is a huge AP saver, and he's extremely cheap. So you can use this card. It's a good card. Just don't use your free pick on it. But if you happen to get it out of one of the packs, it gives you a random 99 overall if you're lucky enough, and you get this card. That's the good ability setup for it. Next one is going to be Aryan Foster. I think this is the most slept on card, but again, I'm not going to advise you to pick it as your top free pick with the 15 tokens, because this card only costs about 300k. That's pretty inexpensive, but I do think he's one of the best running backs in the game. For his charge up X Factor, go with Angry Runs. It is going to cost you the 1 AP. With charge up X Factors on all of these cards, it's going to start on for 6 plays. It goes away for a little while, comes back for 6 plays, and repeats that cycle unless you use Persistent on any of your cards. And of course, if you're going against the Aiden Hutchinson Division Dynasty card or any other player with Momentum Shift, they're often going to be knocked out of that zone. You're not going to run into players like that every single game. I don't, so I don't think you will either, but it is something to keep in mind. So again, Aryan Foster, X Factor, Charge Up, Angry Runs. Tier 1 bucket, you want to go with Energizer. That helps you keep a lot of your stamina after a successful juke move, which you're going to be doing a lot of with this card, so it's good to have that stamina to break longer runs and get down the field. Tier 2, go Reach for it. That's going to pick up a couple extra yards here and there sometimes. Tier 3, go with Grab and Go. That's going to be good for after the catch if you're throwing him the football. Tier 4, you got Tank. Tier 5, you got Human Joystick. Tier 6, go with Evasive. And then finally, Tier 7 is going to be Route Technician, which is good to beat man coverage. So a lot of versatility on this card, and like I said, he's been one of my favorite cards from this entire promo. Reggie Wayne came out today. Last week we had Deshawn Jackson. I do think if you're looking for a wide receiver, Deshawn Jackson is the better option. And normally we pick the taller receiver. Reggie Wayne's 6'1", Deshawn's only 5'10". Shorter receivers get a better possession catch animation, which is the main way that you're defeating knockouts right now, is holding down the A button on a catch on Xbox or X on PlayStation. And again, him being a little bit shorter is going to help that out. He also has the +1 speed, which isn't huge. You're not going to notice a big difference on the field, but Deshawn is a little bit faster. So for Deshawn, you would go with Yak 'em Up as the charge up X Factor. Now, earlier this week, Zan Madden put out a video talking about how Double Me and Max Security as an X Factor or a passive X Factor treated as an ability are good to break press, specifically the bottleneck guys who get that really good press man coverage. So Yak 'em Up is the only X Factor on a wide receiver that doesn't consistently beat that press. If you're running into a lot of bottlenecks, you might want to explore Double Me or Max Security. I'm still going to be using Yak 'em Up because it just gives you so many yards after the catch. And with a guy like Deshawn who has that 99 speed, and we're going to be able to get evasive on him, it's really, really helpful. So Yak 'em Up for the X Factor. In Tier 1, you're either going to go Energizer for the same reason we used it on Aryan Foster. You keep some of your stamina. If you don't want to use that or don't feel like it works enough, you can go Persistent. That's going to keep him in the zone a little bit longer with that Yak 'em Up X Factor. Tier 2, you're going to go Run Off Elite. That helps in the run game. Tier 3, Short in Elite. Tier 4, Route Technician, which is really good against man coverage. Tier 5, you're going to go Deep Elite. Tier 6, Evasive. And Tier 7, this is optional. If you want to explore a different route, you can. But Tier 7, Return Man. You can make him your starting punt or kick returner, whether it's, well, he's a starting receiver, or a couple weeks down the road, if you don't use this card anymore, if anything, you can throw him back at kick and punt returner, and with that return man, he's usually going to break the first tackle. Anytime you're trying to decide on the best free card to pick, a telling tale is always to look at the price, and this brand new Lincoln Kennedy, currently, at the time that I'm recording this video, is going for about 1.5 million coins. He's the best right tackle in the game. Now, it's a little bit of overkill on this card, and I'll explain why in a moment. It's a very very good card, and if you need a right tackle, this is certainly one that you can use that free choice on. Let's go through the abilities. Because he's an offensive lineman, he's not going to get any X factors. Tier 1, I'm going recuperation. That helps with the stamina. Tier 2, I'm going to go lifeguard. Tier 3, you can either go identifier. If you already have an identifier on your offensive line, you can go linchpin. If you already have one of those, maybe look to substitute one of those two abilities on a different player and utilize it on Lincoln Kennedy instead. Tier 4, we're going to go post up, which is good for the pass game. Tier 5, we're going to go with all day, which is also good for pass blocking. Tier 6, we're going to go nasty streak, which is good for run blocking. And finally, the most important ability of all, Tier 7, we're going to go secure protector. So without a doubt, like I said, best right tackle in the game, probably one of the best options to use your 15 tokens on. But if you really need a right tackle right now, you can go out and get John Runyon's Ultimate Legend. He's like 200k. He absolutely tanked in price due to this Lincoln Kennedy. While that card doesn't get all of those abilities for 0 AP, he gets the important ones. You can go out there and get Secure Protector because it's baked on for 0 AP. Runyon also gets Threat Detector for 1 AP on Lincoln Kennedy and Will Shield, so we're going to talk about in a moment. It's 2 AP. And then also on the Runyon card, he can get Nasty Streak and Identifier, Nasty Streak and All Day, Identifier and All Day. He can get that combination for 0. Again, not all of the same abilities, but for 200k, pretty good pickup. I mentioned Will Shields a moment ago. He was probably my favorite pick last week, and he's still up there in the top 3 to 5 to go for at right guard because he's going to pretty much give you all the same abilities, but he has like less competition as the best right guard in the game versus Kennedy having the less competition as the best right tackle in the game. Will Shields right now is going for about 525k. Tier 1 bucket, you're going to want to go recuperation. Tier 2, you're going polar elite. If you have running plays in your playbook where your right guard pulls a lot, that's going to be a great ability for you. Tier 3, you go identifier. Tier 4, post up. Tier 5, linchpin. Tier 6, nasty streak. And again, Tier 7, secure protector. Let's talk about some defensive cards. In the top 3 for sure is going to be Warren Sapp. I think he's probably been my favorite card from the Part 1 release card so far. He's going for about 600k right now. Again, always important to pay attention to pricing, because if these cards are expensive, you know other people want them, and that is always a good indicator of what card you might want to go with for your free pick. That, and of course, watching my videos. So Warren Sapp's going to get Unstoppable Force as his charged up X Factor. It doesn't cost any AP, just one of your 3 X Factor slots. Tier 1, you're going to want to go Persistent, again, to keep him in the zone longer. Tier 2, go Unfakeable. This is good against juke moves. Now, your defensive tackle isn't going to get juked as much as guys on the outside, like your cornerbacks and outside linebackers and even defensive ends, but there's not really any other good abilities in that Tier 2 bucket, so go with Unfakeable. Tier 3, you're going to go Secure Tackler. Tier 4, you're going to go Double or Nothing. Tier 5, you're going to go Interior Threat. Tier 6, Under Pressure, might force some bad throws on the quarterback for your opponent. And then finally, Tier 7, Inside Stuff. It was really tough narrowing down the 2 cornerbacks, Troy Vincent and Night Train Lane, but I'm going to pick Night Train as the better option because he's a little bit more versatile versus if you're running a man scheme or a zone scheme. Now, I will say the knock on Night Train is he doesn't get Tackle Supreme or Secure Tackler, whereas Troy Vincent does. So if you really, really need that on your cornerbacks, go with Troy Vincent. If not, Night Train's the guy, going for about 525k. His best X Factor is going to be Universal Coverage. And then listen to the ability setups because it's going to be different based on if you run a man scheme or a zone scheme. So Tier 1, you're going to want to go with Persistent, again, to keep them in the zone longer. If you don't want to do that, or if you're not using an X Factor slot on him, you can go Jukebox, which will be helpful after the interception. You might make a couple people miss and be able to turn an interception into a pick 6. Tier 2, go for Unfakeable, just like we talked about with Warren Sapp. Tier 3, if you run man coverage, go short route KO. If you run zone coverage, go mid zone KO. Tier 4, if you run man coverage, go 1 step ahead. If you run zone coverage, go deep out zone KO. Tier 5, if you run man coverage, go deep route KO. If you run zone coverage, go flat zone KO. Tier 6, man coverage, go mid route KO. And if you're in zone coverage, run acrobat. And then Tier 7, it doesn't matter what coverage you run, you're going to want to go pick artist. And we close it out with Pat Tillman, one of the new cards that was released, a really, really good coverage safety out here. Now, he is only 5'11", but he gets knockout ability, so he should be okay. He's going for about 700k right now. Couple different routes you can go with the X Factor. Me personally, I would go Universal Coverage, but you also have the option of Avalanche as a charge up X Factor, or Reinforcement, which is a little bit more helpful if he's going to be a sub linebacker, because it's going to help you with knockouts and more so the running game. Tier 1 bucket, you're going to go persistent. Tier 2, you can either go flat zone KO or mid route KO. That's kind of up to you. Mostly you want to keep this card in zone coverage, even though I run a ton of man. If I were to use it, I'd keep him as a high safety in zone coverage. Tier 3, you're going to go mid zone KO. Tier 4, you're going to go tackle supreme. And be careful because he gets a secure tackler in the 3 last buckets. That's not as good as tackle supreme. So again, tier 4 tackle supreme. Tier 5, you can go enforcer. Tier 6, you're going to go lurk artist, which is pick artist plus lurker all together. And then tier 7, deep zone KO, which is going to give you those knockouts inside and outside of the hash marks, 20 plus yards down the field. And there you have it. Those are the best 99 overall champions to add to your squad. I would say in no particular order, the 2 offensive linemen, Kennedy and Will Shields, have to be in the top 3. Warren Sapp is definitely there. And then between Troy Vincent, Night Train Lane, and Pat Tillman, they would probably kind of round out that group of secondary guys in the top 3. But a lot of really good picks. Let me know who you guys picked down below in the comment section. And thank you for watching. My name is Popular Stranger. I'm out. Peace.